Well, hi-ho, folks, and welcome back to the adventures of Turwinkle, the Gnome Mage. Well, hi, Turwinkle.
Hello.
Are you all set for tonight, sir?
Sure.
Well, great, because tonight we are going to go and talk with Volk, a wonderful role player. We're going to find out all about his role play, how he came up with his storyline, a little bit about him, and get some great advice for you new and veteran role players out there on what to look for in role playing in the world of Warcraft. And so without any further ado, let us go and see if we can find Volk. Alrighty, folks. Well, we came here to Surrich in the Blasted Lands, and let us see if we can find him. I know he hangs out here. Oh, as a matter of fact, there he is, right here in front of us. And we have Sir Volkhardt and how do you pronounce the last name again?
Zernacles,
the Black Knight, Static Ball of Death, Diplomat of War, Aranya, nickname Aranya, Volkswagen, Lance Corporal of the Legendary 7, level 100 Loradian Warrior, currently recovering from a mission and is currently wanted. So hello, sir.
Hello.
Well, we're really looking forward to talking with... Well, as you can see, Turwinkle's very excited. But we're looking forward to talking to you tonight all about your role play, a little bit about you, and get some great advice for those new role players out there, and maybe for some of those veteran role players as well. So with that, folks, we will come back and we're going to get started with this awesome interview. So we'll be right back. Alrighty, folks, and we are back. Alright, Volt, how long have you been playing World of Warcraft, sir?
I've been playing World of Warcraft at least since halfway through BC.
Oh, okay, so for quite a while. And how long have you been role-playing in the game, sir?
I've just started role-playing 3-4 months ago when I first started role-playing on World of Warcraft.
Oh, wow. Had you role-played outside the game before?
Yes, I played a little bit of Pathfinder and whatnot.
Okay, and what got you into role-playing in the game?
Well, I was not really having that much fun as I used to with World of Warcraft. PvP was boring, PvE was boring, so I decided to go look at the third option that World of Warcraft has, which was role-playing. As soon as I started role-playing, I had a blast, and I knew that this is what I was going to love doing for a while.
All right, well, excellent. Now, sir, why did you choose a human to play? Have you always played the human race?
No, human was the first race I played when I switched over to Alliance, just because of the PvP talents. And also, I find humans are a little bit more simpler than some of these other races, like Night Elves and Draenei, where you have to worry about being a couple thousand years old and all this lore to research on your race itself, not to mention the class you play.
Ah, yeah, that's true. Humans are certainly simpler in that regard. That's true. Now, you're also playing a warrior. Is that your favorite class?
My favorite class is like a mix-up between both warrior, death knight, and paladin, because those were the three classes I've always played. And the reason why I'm playing a warrior right now is because I switched over this tune from Emerald Dream to Wrymrest Accord.
Okay, well, excellent. So, folks, when we come back, we are going to talk with Volk about how he came up with his character, a little bit about his storyline, and some of his history. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back. And we have moved into Volk's house here in Surrich. Now, sir, do a lot of people role-play in this area?
I've only found one other group of people ever come here for a roleplay.
Oh, so that makes it nice. It's kind of something of your own, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Well, folks, this is not an invitation to come and swamp Surrich with your RP, but I'm sure one or two extra visitors wouldn't hurt. So, don't take Volk's house. It's an awesome house. I love this place. So, speaking of Volk, now how did you come up with that name?
I came up with the name Volkhardt from a couple memes. I found the first part of the name through random generating of a WoW name, and I found the last part by another random generating of a WoW name, and I just put them together.
Okay, and it's awesome. Now, one of your nicknames is Volkswagen. Who gave you that nickname?
That is the now second command, Valdswin, Alm Tree of the L7. When I first joined the guild, he saw the first part of her name, Volk, and immediately thought Volkswagen.
Okay. And folks, if you haven't seen that episode, do check it out. It's the Legendary 7, a great guild here on Wrymrest Accord, so do check them out. it's a fun talk, and that's where we got to meet Volk, and this is why we find ourselves here now. So, excellent episode. Go check that out. Now, sir, tell us a little bit about Volk. Where does he come from? What's his storyline, sir?
Well, Volkhardt was born in the outskirts of Lordaeron, back before it fell, and he was an orphan at first, and he was adopted into a royal family. The royal family wanted him to become a scholar, which he didn't really agree with, because he wanted to become one of those famous knights that he would see walk down the streets. So he would go off and watch the Knights train, like any boy would, until about 4 years after, when his parents got caught up in an assassination, and he ran away from the orphanage so he wouldn't have to be admitted into a new family.
Ah, okay. And obviously now, is he an older character?
He kind of is. He's around the age of 40.
But he's seen a lot of stuff, sir.
Yes, he has.
And so he runs away from the orphanage, and then where does he go from there?
He actually finds himself finding a group of assassins that he would train under and then work for.
Ah, okay. Now, would you consider him a good character or a evil character?
He's more of a wild card and like a chaotic neutral-ish character.
So you start assassinating people, is that correct?
Yes.
With these assassins, okay. And so where does he go from there?
He was about at the age of 16 when he got an assassination on the Knight Commander of the Lordaeron's Royal Knights. This was easily his hardest assassination, and it didn't go over well. He failed the assassination, and then the Knight Commander took him under his wing because he was such a young boy.
Ah, okay. So his life takes a turn towards good then?
Yes, it does.
All right, so what happens at that point?
He would train under the Knight Commander for about 2 years until he reached the age of 18. Then he would join the Lordaeron's army and be shipped out at the age of 20. Around this time, Lordaeron would fall.
Ah, and so what goes on then? He's shipped out, Lordaeron falls.
He finishes up serving in the conjoined army until the Third War ends.
Oh, okay.
And after the Third War ends, he decided he's going to go back to Lordaeron and see if he can find any survivors or any of his friends.
Does he find anyone?
He finds his old girlfriend, but she's already been turned into a Forsaken.
Oh, gosh. And was he the one to have to put her down, sir?
Yes, he was.
Oh, man. All right. So, puts the girlfriend down. Doesn't find anyone else.
Nope.
What happens then, sir?
He just goes off on his own for a while to figure out what he wants to actually do, because his whole world just pretty much crumbled down around him.
All right. And does he end up with the Legendary 7 at this point?
Not at this point. He goes off and works, finally gets his self straight, and he goes to Stormwind, or the new Stormwind that's created, and he works for them. And he was shipped off to Northrend. Didn't really get into any of the serious battles against Naxxramas, Ulduar, or ICC.
Oh, okay.
And after the war in Northrend and all that was finished, he came back and became a Griffin Rider for Stormwind.
Oh, man. Okay. So you would say Volk has quite a bit of experience behind him, wouldn't you?
Yeah, he was meant to be a very military-heavy character.
At this point, do you find him getting recruited into the Legendary 7?
After his days in the Stormwind Griffin Riders were done, he was not really ready to retire yet, so he wanted to become a merc. And this is when he finds the Legendary 7.
Well, excellent. There you have it, folks. A great storyline behind Volk, a wonderful, colorful past. And so when we come back, we're going to talk cover a little bit about his TRP3 here, and take a look at what he's got written there. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back, and we are looking at Volk's MRP3 here, or TRP3, I'm sorry. And so, again, it's got his name, all his nicknames up there. Eyes Thunder Blue, sir.
Yes.
That obviously has some meaning in the roleplay, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's very electrically driven character, very static and whatnot.
Right, and I meant to ask you the static ball of death. So where does that come in?
Well, that comes in with his, I guess, part of his personality and how much he enjoys the battle. He pretty much breathes and lives fighting and enjoys it a lot.
All right. And so currently recovering from a mission. What mission are you recovering from, sir?
Well, last night, the L7 went on a mission to capture stolen cargo that pirates stole. And Volk had to be a distraction while the stealth team got the cargo out of there safely. So he yelled at the pirate ship itself, and some cannonballs got shot at him.
Yeah. And now, do you guys use the D20 system?
Yes, we do.
And how'd you fare, sir?
Well, I rolled about 2 lower than the DM, and so I just got a couple pieces of shrapnel from a tree that got hit.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Now, your description here says Volk has thunder tattoos all over his body, and they glow bright when he's fully charged. Volk is extremely physically fit and no doubt a force to be reckoned with. He also has a thunder mark on his forehead. Volk's eyes glow blue, and so does his teeth. Okay, so he just really, it just is electrifying to be around him. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
All right, excellent. And when we click over to the biography here, it says, age 40, home is Sirwich. And so, sir, and then all the wonderful story that we have here about Volk that we talked about earlier. So, excellent. Now, how long did it take you to fill this out?
Well, I was piecing it together at first, but then I suddenly had like a writer's moment where it started coming to me. So I opened up a Word document and just started typing out. And I came up and finally finished it all out.
Oh, great. And sometimes that does take that moment, doesn't it, to get it all together, because sometimes that can be really, for some folks, a really difficult thing to do. And other folks do it exactly like you were doing it, just piecing it together as you were going along. And so that's great. Sometimes that'll hit you like a volt out of the blue. And and you're able to write down a bunch of stuff as it comes to you. And again, other folks like more of a reactionary RP and just to document what their character has gone through since they started role-playing. So that is excellent, sir. So folks, when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about Volk in real life and find out a little bit about him behind the screen. So I'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back. And so, Volk, we always like to find out a little bit about the people behind this screen there, as it were, because we try to break that stereotype of what a role player is. You know, we're not all 40-year-old guys living in mom and dad's basement eating Cheetos all day, but we're people from different backgrounds, different professions, different likes and dislikes. And so, sir, what do you do outside the game?
Well, besides from when I'm playing WoW, I'm either outside working out, doing maintenance for my mom, who's not really able to. I go for swims and whatnot, and sleep.
Oh, okay. Right. Excellent. So it sounds like you keep pretty fit, sir.
Yes, I do.
How about movies, sir? What kind of movies do you like?
Horror, thriller, sci-fi, that kind of genre.
What was the last movie you saw?
The Jurassic World movie.
Oh, what'd you think?
I loved it.
All right. So 5 out of 5?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So there you go, folks. Volk says go see it, Jurassic World, if you haven't seen it yet. And he gives it a 5 out of 5. Well, excellent. All right, sir. Well, that is great. And again, there you go, folks. It just proves that, we're not all, just shut-ins living in the basement, but we're actually out and about doing things, watching movies, reading books, having a good time outside of the game as well. So when we come back, folks, we're going to get some advice from Volk for you new role players and you veteran role players alike, and see what he has to offer as far as wisdom when it comes to role play. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back. And so, Volk, being fairly a new role player in World of Warcraft, what's some advice that you might have for somebody that's watching this that's just now deciding, hey, I think I might want to role play too in the game?
Well, what really helped me out was finding a great guild. On my first character, which was a Scarlet-themed priest, I found a guild, and it was just helping me figure out how to roleplay and get into it. Because by yourself, you might be a really shy person, so you're not going to walk up to people, and people may not walk up to you. So it would take a while on your own. But when you're in a guild that you feel familiar with and you're friendly with, it's just instant and it just comes to you.
I think that's very true. Yeah, I for myself, that's what really helped me start role-playing in the game, was finding that great guild that they're going to be more patient with you if you make mistakes rather than someone just random person, and really take you through and showing you how to emote and how to fill out your MRP and all that good stuff. What was the hardest thing for you to learn about role-playing in WoW?
Moderation. I always wanted my characters to be the very best they could be, and no one could defeat them. Can't have that. You just can't in this game. So finding the balance between where your character is good enough for you, but not too good where it's being a god mod type thing.
Right, especially in combat. I always find for myself, it's hard for me when you're doing the text-based combat. It's always hard for me to try to not, like you said, find that balance between being too powerful. But you don't want, I don't want Turwinkle to die, but I certainly don't want him to be all powerful. And so there's got to be that sense of danger, and that really adds to the excitement, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Now, for yourself, when you guys are role-playing, we mentioned this a little bit, you guys utilize the D20 system. Do you think that gives you the best role-play experience in the game?
It does and it does not, because when you're doing the Roll20 system, it all depends on your luck, and you don't really utilize your character. People who do logic roleplay have a very good base, and they know what their character is capable of, and they can easily emote it. But when you're in a Roll20, it's all based on luck. You could have a really good character in logic and whatnot, but then you roll a 1 when the DM rolls a 20, and your attack completely misses when normally it wouldn't.
Ah, very, very well said, sir. Excellent. All right, sir. Well, when we come back, folks, we're going to have some final thoughts about Volk and his awesome roleplay. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back. And so, Volk, what are you currently doing in your storyline? Now, you had just escaped from the stockades, had you not, sir?
Yes, I had. After escaping from the stockades, one of the people who helped detain him actually came after Volk. And it was a pretty good but short-lived RP where Volk took up a new identity and hid from this person. But needless to say, that really didn't go his way.
Ah, what happened, sir?
He was in the trams with her, and one thing led to another, and she found out his identity. So he was faced with what he had to do.
Oh, you didn't kill her, did you, sir?
No. At first, he held her at gunpoint, trying to figure out what to do, because if she got out and told people of his identity, he could end up in the stockades again. But something happened where he and her teamed up to go hunt down a gang of criminals.
Ah, thereby gaining her trust, sir.
Yes, he did gain her trust. And after more unforeseen events, Volk ended up falling in love with this person. Ah,
okay. And is this an ongoing storyline, sir?
It is, and it kind of isn't. The criminal gang has disbanded OOCly, so that went away, but Volk and this person are now in a relationship with a new adopted daughter.
Wow, okay. Well, great. So is there wedding bells in the future, sir?
Maybe.
All right, make sure you send Turwinkle an invitation, sir.
All right.
All right, folks. Well, when we come back, we are going to give final thoughts to this awesome roleplay. And that, again, is Volk of the Legendary 7. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back. Well, Volk, it has been a lot of fun talking with you about your character, about his history, a little bit about you, some great advice for those new role players out there. Who would you like to give a shout out before we go to tonight?
I would like to give a shout out to my guild, the Legendary 7, especially Dandez, for being so open and cooperative with me. He was a big part in helping me set up Volk's roleplay. Since I was new, he helped me tweak him and made him not so overpowered and whatnot.
All right, well, excellent. Well, there you go, folks. Again, another wonderful role player here on Wrymrest Accord. And once again, that is Volkhardt of the Legendary 7. Well, thank you so much, sir, for taking the time to speak with us and answer all of Turwinkle's pestering questions tonight, sir.
Thank you for having me also.
You bet. So with that, folks, we're going to head on back to Fuselight by the Sea with Turwinkle's final thoughts on this awesome roleplay of Volk. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks. Well, we made it safe and sound back to Fuselight by the Sea. Boy, Turwinkle, that was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Affirmative.
You bet. So let's give Volk a big thank you, sir, for taking the time to speak with us tonight.
Thank you.
Well, now, sir, you can definitely do better than that, Turwinkle. Come on now.
Allow me to express my deepest thanks.
Much better, Turwinkle. Okay. All right, folks. Well, there you have it. A wonderful interview with Volk of the Legendary Seven. He has a lot of fun storyline there, a great history, and some great advice for you folks out there as well. And so, folks, if you like this episode, click that like button. If you would like to comment on this episode or on any of our previous episodes, please do so below. Let us know what you liked and what you didn't. And finally, if you'd like to subscribe, well, we would love to have you. So just hit that subscription button today. Well, excellent job as always, Turwinkle. And Turwinkle, we will see you next time, sir.
Farewell.
Farewell, Turwinkle. Farewell.